dropping down. I'm a little bit above the paper, so I'm letting it hit the paper, and then I pull the tip away. If you get too close to the paper, I'll show you one. If you get too close, what ends up happening is the center is not enough cookie, and it'll tend to burn a little bit. So you want to be careful.
I've definitely made that mistake before. I just never knew why it was burning.
So if you're consistent with your size, these bake in a 400-degree oven for about 10 to 12 minutes.
Okay.
One trick that we do is after we fill them, we sprinkle granulated sugar over the top. And we do that because when you stack them in the case, otherwise the jelly would stick together. This way the jelly doesn't stick on the cookie in front of it.
It creates sort of a film.
Exactly right, yeah. A sweet film.
So anyone out there who might be traveling with cookies this year, maybe that's a trick you want to use. Make sure there's a thin layer of sugar so they don't all stick together.
So I'm going to take my cookie and I'm going to lay them out. I'm going to just dip my thumb in a little bit of water. I'm going to go right in the center of the cookie.
And the water is just so it doesn't stick?
Just so it doesn't stick.
Okay.
You can just push down a little bit. And the reason I do that is so when you fill it with the jelly, it has a place to land. If you don't, what it'll tend to run somewhere else. One other thing is too, when you're filling with fillings, you want to make sure that they're oven proof. That when they hit the heat, they don't bubble out. So sometimes you'll see fillings will say, if you buy like Smuckers, they'll say oven proof, or you're able to use this on cookies in a filling. Some are designed to use just after they're baked. The cookie will spread a little bit, and the jelly is going to stay exactly where you put it at.
Okay. So wherever you squeeze that jelly, that's where it's going to end up.
So I just get a little bit of regular granulated sugar that you have in your sugar jar. I'm just sprinkling it over the top.
And again, that's to help with
create that film that we talked about on top of the filling. So when you bake the cookies, they won't stick together. I guess you're probably wondering, do you actually put jimmies on each one by hand?
Right.
And there are some stores that do that. That's not what we do here. So we have a real cool technique that sometimes people see, they're like, oh my goodness, how'd you do that? So we'll bag the cookies out on the paper. Then I'll pick up the paper on each end. I'll grab the cookies. I'll drop them right in the jimmies. And then I'll go ahead and I'll pick that back up.
And for people not from the Philadelphia area who might be looking at this, jimmies are sprinkles.
That's true. That is true. The trick with those cookies, when you go to put the jimmies on them, you just spray them a little bit of water and then drop the jimmies right on top, and they stay in place and won't roll over. So mom's baking home with the kids, if you wanted the jimmies to stay on the cookies, not all over the place, a little bit of water on those cookies, that'll stick right to it. What we do with all these cookies that we have, well, we sell them obviously, but we put them in different trays for the holidays. Like, this is an option we have at the store. It's a 3 pound, a little over 3 pounds of cookie tray. We have different jimmies, different fillings. We have some of the cutouts, some of the wreaths, some of the pinch cookies. So a little over 3 pounds, about $45 worth of cookies here. We have a smaller tray that we offer. We wrap them in decorative cellar wrap with ribbon. Same thing, a little over £1.5 pounds, about $25 worth of cookies here. They're nice to give out. A lot of the doctors and the lawyers in the areas pick them up, give them to some of their clients prior to the holidays, or give them gifts. They're nice. They're wrapped, so all you can do is come and grab and you go. And you get a nice variety of cookies. It's in the oven, and you can see how they're nice golden on the edges. And you can see how they spread. The jelly stayed right where I told you it was going to stay, especially when I missed one. The key with bacon, if you're baking at home, is you're not going to bake these to where they're completely done out of the oven. So if you bake these till they're brown all the way up, what's going to happen is they're continue to bake on the tray, and you're just going to overbake them, and you'll have really dry cookies. So what you want to do is you want to get them just when you see they're golden, and then you can see the bottoms, that nice light golden brown. That's perfect. So that'll sit on this hot tray. It'll crisp up really nice. It'll be nice and light, and it'll be cookie for you to eat.
Perfect. It's still nice and soft. All right. The jam is still really warm, so this is delicious.
Good. Thank you so much.
This is really good.
Well, you know, it's just like when you're going to Geno's or Pat's. You can't judge it without judging the other one. So you have to try an apricot cookie.
Oh, man.
And then we can see which your favorite is.
All right, all right. I don't know.
It's a good thing
They're
I
both
love it.
really good. Honestly, I didn't think I was a big apricot person, but this is really, really, really good. So
you don't taste that
I'm just gonna have
sugar.
to keep eating them until I make up my mind.
Guess I gotta make some more cookies.
Yeah.